Was I always the best role model? No. I don't know if any of us were. And as far as being responsible, we all have to be responsible for our own actions.
Hi, I'm Alex Morris. I'm a senior writer at Rolling Stone magazine, and this is the Rolling Stone interview with Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Sucksville.
No.
Just kidding.
It's so good to have you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Let's take stock a little bit about what's happened, because I know, so not everything ends up being released to the public. So has anyone ever lost a finger in the filming of Jackass?
Not a whole finger, but maybe a tip. I don't know.
What about a toe?
I don't know about, we've broken toes, but not any, I don't know if they've lost them.
An ear?
No ear, losing the ear. And I say that and we may have.
I know, I feel like I'm jinxing you a little bit.
No one cares about losing an ear or a toe.
Okay. What about a nipple? A testicle?
Well, Dave England only has one. And we do have an idea around that we've been trying to shoot for 15 years. And we're trying to pull off our white whale for Jackass 5. I don't want to give it away, but it's something we've been trying to shoot for years.
And he's game.
He's game. It's just the fucking lawyers.
I know you had your eye pop out twice while we're going through the sort of list of...
Were you trying to get to my one injury by asking all the body parts?
Which one? I don't even know. You've had so many.
Okay. I thought you were trying to end up on...
All right, well...
my littlest finger.
You broke your penis. It's okay. It happens.
It happens.
Yeah. It happens to the best of us.
It was a close one.
For people who don't know... That was a stunt where you're trying to backflip a motorcycle, and the handlebar landed in a very inopportune
right in the
area.
Gooch. Right,
yeah,
it broke its handlebars off in my gooch. And Travis Pastrana runs up and goes, "I have never seen that happen."
That's a bad sign when that guy is like,
yeah.
No, but I want to talk about your eye because I don't know. I can't quite picture what an eyeball popping out of the socket looks or feels like.
It's like, you know how TV, when it goes out, it's just lines? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of what my eye did. The picture just went kind of fuzzy in lines.
But how far out?
No, I didn't hang. I got way past Marty Feldman.
Okay.
It was bulging way out. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right. And so I poked it back in and...
You poked it back in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Science.
the right move.
Well,
but
how is it today?
It's all right.
There you go. There you go. Is there one stunt you want to do that you don't think you'll ever get to?
I don't want to get emotional. I can't. God damn, I hate when this happens.
No, this is good. I was going to ask when the last time you cried was, but now...
Oh, no, it's all the time these days.
Yeah. Same.
I can't mess around with bulls anymore.
And that makes you emotional.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Because you want to do it again, or because it makes you think about what happened before?
No, I just want to play with them.
And
I'm trying not to.
Yeah.
Trying not to... indulge in those thoughts.
You've had 16 concussions.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have any. Your neurologist says you can't have any more.
Yep.
The bull one, again, that's hard footage for me to watch.
Which one?
Well, the last movie.
Oh, with the magician?
The magician, the magic trick.
Hello, I am Johnny the Magnificent.
Yeah, that bull hated my trick.
Yeah, doesn't like magic.
Well, he may like magic.
He didn't like
I don't know.
magic.
He didn't like my magic.
Right.
And the first time I did it's the milk in the hat thing. I did the trick perfectly, but the first bull just kind of threw me up and started knocking me on the ground.
He didn't hate you enough.
No, and I was like, it's the worst to be under a bull and know you have to go again.
That actually does sound like
Take two
the
with the
worst.
bulls. It's always tough
Yeah.
because you build yourself up. Like if you just wanted to really smoke you one good time, and then you're like, oh no, you half-assed it.
That time was really hard to recover from.
Yeah, that took 5 or 6 months to recover.
And you were having sort of like like things that weren't real were seeming, real traumatic brain injury.
Yeah.
stuff.
I was just catastrophic thinking, ruminating. Just the whole world was closing in, and I have a lot of sympathy for myself then, because you're getting fed, your brain's feeding you such terrible information, and people outside would tell me like your brain's playing tricks on you. I'm like, no, it's happening. Like nothing's happening, and just kind of my creative brain turned against me. Just over 5 or 6 months, my mind just fell off a cliff. But then I got on medicine, and it just started turning around. I started feeling like myself again. And then you slowly come out of it. You're like, because I can remember exactly how I felt then, and everything was in my head happening. Nothing happening. It was frightening.
Yeah. And it must have been really hard on your kids, your family.
Hard on anyone around me. Yeah.
Yeah. When you started out, did you feel invincible?
No, I felt pretty invincible.
I like that turn of phrase.
Didn't really feel bulletproof because I didn't really care. You know?
I don't know. What do you mean you didn't care?
I don't know. You just have to become comfortable with the worst case scenarios. If you become comfortable with the worst case scenarios, you're kind of free.
But you've said before that you want to, if you don't have fear, then, fear is a helpful instinct.
Yeah. It's just, it wasn't that fear is not present. It's just, you can just kind of metabolize it.
So let's get into that a little bit. You've talked before about I need to sort of beyond this feeling of needing, I don't know what it is, the adrenaline rush. And I know you've talked before about doing therapy and about not wanting to talk about that. Basically being like, I'll talk about anything except this.
How I make my living.
How I make my living, right?
Don't take food out of my children's mouth.
But you have recently decided to start talking about that.
Yeah, a little. Yeah.
What led to that change?
After all the concussions, I can't do that anymore.
16
so there's
concussions,
nothing, I can look at that now, as opposed to not wanting to. I realize it's not the healthiest thing.
When you look at it, do you have a sense of where it comes from? Has it always been there, or was it something you cultivated?
Oh no, your whole life cultivates it. All your experiences in your childhood is how you end up how you are,
And so what would you say are the experiences from your childhood that sort of led you there? Because your dad was a funny guy, but he wasn't a daredevil the way,
he was funny. He was very funny. And he was either on or off. Not in a way that you felt like, oh, Dad, I'm over here, you're ignoring me. No, he'd just be checked out. But then it's just snap, he's right back on. He also liked the whiskey a little, so that wasn't fun.
Would you say overall you had a happy childhood?
It was either moments of extreme happiness, or if Dad was on the whiskey, those times were tough. And you never knew when that was going to happen.
I know your mom was a Southern Baptist Sunday school teacher?
She did teach Sunday school some.
So
Not always.
I'm from Alabama. So like I know what that's a thing.
Yes, yeah.
Were you in her class? Were you?
No, my uncle Johnny, he was a dentist. He taught Sunday school. I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church, having to go to church and all that.
Did it always feel like something you had to do?
Yeah, 100%.
When did you stop, and did your mom care?
Yeah, she cared. Oh yeah, she cared. It was just a lot. You're 7, 8, just having to go and sit there and be quiet and listening about burning in hell. And I'm like, wow, it was a lot. I think that's why maybe one of the reasons I hate being told what to do so much.
That makes sense. Yeah. When did you start doing pranks? And I mean, you mentioned when you were here like a minute ago, you mentioned a prank you did when you were 8.
Well, that really wasn't even a prank. I was just stupid. Well, my father was always doing pranks on his employees, sometimes on us growing up. I'd be woken up by water in my face sometimes. And then I wake up and he just starts going into a story or jokes. He just wanted me up. Yeah, he would make X-Lax milkshakes for his employees. Oh my God. Stage gunfights. He was hell on wheels.
Like with real guns?
Well, he would give them blank guns. He would tell 2 guys at the Christmas party, you guys get in a fight, start yelling, and then take out the guns and start firing at each other, the blanks.
So you come by this honestly?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of crazy characters in my childhood. They all worked for my father.
So you don't even really remember the first. I mean, you just grew up.
I grew up in it.
Yeah.
I thought it was normal, because it was my childhood.
Were your parents strict at all?
Okay, that's a difficult question because my mom insisted I behave, but she only liked men who misbehaved. I got so many mixed signals. I mean, just my father, for example, but all his friends, the most misbehaved, she just thought they were the sweetest boys. And they were a wild bunch. Fights left and right. And they're sweet.
I feel like you have perfectly walked that line, though. Because misbehave. But you, by all accounts, are a very nice, polite person.
Well, I don't think the fellas would say that.
I don't know.
Well, we're just having fun doing that stuff.
I think that one of the reasons Jackass has had such longevity, though, is because it's not, and a lot of people talk about this, but it's not just about doing dumb, dangerous shit. It's about the camaraderie and
malnudity. Don't forget malnudity.
Well, actually, I was going to ask. I mean, you've got a bit of a mandate going on with that in the other films.
You had me at mandate.
I assume, it like that. You'll keep that going in Jackass 5, right?
Well, it just seems like there's more penis in each film.
There is. I know. It's like the older you get, the more it's on. It needs to be on display.
The older you get, the less people want to see your penis. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I don't think that. Well, look, more and more people are going to see the film. So.
And we were filming Jackass Forever. We're like, God, there's so much cock. We're like halfway through. Let's go easy on the cock the rest of the movie. And then 2 days later, we'll be on set filming something. We're like, it's funnier if he's naked.
It's always funnier if he's naked.
So I'm sure there will be more of that.
I'm glad to hear.
You can't keep clothes on Pontius anyway.
No.
He hates them. He absolutely hates them. I bought him more underpants than any person in my life all time.
Does he wear them?
Oh yeah, his wife will make pictures of him in them and send them to me.
Can you describe a funny pair that you've gotten him? I assume they're all funny. They're not like,
Yeah.
they're not just.
I found some. They were like little hot booty pant shorts, but the print on them was like acid wash Levi's. And I mean, he's got a pretty good kickstand on him, but he's also got a great ass. So it really
Yeah.
works.
Yeah. The early days of Jackass, how it came about. You were basically kind of like casting your friends and people you knew from Big Brother magazine. You'd done some magazine articles.
Yeah, Jeff was the editor of Big Brother magazine. He's now the director of Jackass. Also won Best Eyes in high school. Jeff did. Beautiful blue eyes. And I was writing for the magazine, and a lot of the people from Jackass came from there. Like Pontius was constantly getting hired and fired by Jeff at Big Brother. And they did articles on Wee Man in Big Brother. Cossack was a photographer for Big Brother. He shoots for us now. And that's how we met Steve-O. Then we kind of teamed up with Ryan Dunn and BAM because they were doing the land speed videos in Westchester.
Did you win any awards in high school?
Biggest flirt. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and I did. Okay, we got to talk a little bit about Grease, about Dan, because you played Danny Zuko in high school. Did your friends give you a lot of grief for being in a high school play? Or
No,
did they?
no, everyone thought it was funny. Everyone
Yeah.
liked it.
But that was the moment when you were like, okay, I'm gonna.
No, it was before that. I was like 14-ish, and when I was like, I really thought of my cousin gave, it sounds overly simple, but my cousin gave me On the Road
This is when
I was like 14. I
This
was
is
sitting in
Wade?
Roger Allen Wade.
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Whose music is still available anywhere you buy music online. I do a radio show with him, the Big Ass Happy Family Jubilee on Sirius XM. And he gave me that book, and I just didn't know. It blew my mind, and it made me want to get out.
Yeah, but there's other. I mean, why acting in particular? Because there's other ways to get out.
I knew that I wasn't cut out to do a repetitive type gig, which is great if that's what you like. I just couldn't, and I knew I needed to get out of Knoxville because I felt like I'm going to get in trouble if I stay here.
So luckily you came here and you didn't get in any trouble.
Yeah.
What did your parents say when you came out to LA? Were they supportive or were
They were very, very supportive the whole time, but they kind of thought I'd come out here to get it out of my system and I'd be back and come back, is what they thought. But I couldn't. And I had no backup plan because I thought at the time, if you have a backup plan, you're just kind of already backing out.
You'll end up.
Yeah, you're going to end up.
taking
So I'm
that.
like, yeah, I'm just going to be out here until something happens.
And then once things did start happening, how did your group respond to that? To all of a sudden, I mean, it happens so
Which
fast.
group?
Well, I'm talking about the Jackass guys, because you were the first episode aired in like October or something of 2000. Within a matter of weeks, you were on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Yeah, that was wild. To go from working in a restaurant waiting tables and 3 months later or 2 months later, you're on the cover of Rolling Stone. That's a lot
And you got
for an old cowpuncher like me.
our writer arrested.
Oh, yeah, Eric.
Eric, yeah, I love Eric.
Yeah, he's nice. Yeah, he got arrested. He liked it.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
That's like the best thing that could
Yeah,
happen
it's
in
like,
a
what do you-
story.
Come
Yeah.
on. No one cares.
How did it affect the friendships, and how did it? It must have been such heady times. I know that, and you've talked about how things, it was a lot. It was a lot to deal with, and you had a new baby.
Not sure it affected the friendships as much. Did affect some relationships. Yeah, it was it took a long time to wrap my head around it, you know. And I was like younger and not thinking very deeply about things.
At what point did you realize, oh, wait a second, my life forever now is different? I can't go back.
I know I'm talking to you guys right now, and I don't want to sound kiss ass, but that was going from waiting tables to being on the cover of the Rolling Stone, meeting Letterman for the first time.
Yeah. Did you have anxiety though about now?
Yes, I have anxiety, and
How did you
I did.
deal with it then?
Honestly, back then, I dealt with my anxiety by whiskey and forward motion, by not dealing with it.
I feel like I've read that around the second movie, things were still kind of going off the rails a little bit.
Oh, the second movie, that's when everyone was at their worst.
What does
Very
that mean
naughty.
exactly?
Just, you name it. That was like a couple years before we put Steve-O away.
Right.
Everyone was at their naughtiest.
How did you?
A lot of booze, a lot of drugs, a lot of rambunctious behavior.
How did you reel it in? Because by the third movie, and I guess everyone has sort of done that at their own pace, and some maybe not at all. But for you,
I guess I had gotten most of it out of my system, not all of it, but most. By the time the third one comes around, and what am I, 40 maybe? But still, I had work to do then.
I mean, when you first started out, could you have ever imagined that you would be still doing it at 40?
First started out what? Like
well, I mean,
driving the 10 West out of Knoxville, or just trying to get a gig in LA when I got here?
I mean, starting out doing the video, I mean, maybe as far back as when you were doing them for Big Brother and you were doing this, taser and the stun gun.
When I got to
stunts.
Big Brother, it was the first place that I thought, wow, this, with the people that were there and meeting Jeff, I felt like this may be something. Mm-hmm. And Jeff felt the same way, and he'd been trying to do something, think of a show, and I had been trying to think of a show. Jackass was our best guess, and Spike had a lot to do with that, because we were trying to think of a show, and we knew it's a lot like the Big Brother videos, the skate videos, just without the skateboarding. And Jeff and I were talking, I don't know, like, we know it's going to be stunts and pranks, but we don't know what it looks like. We don't know if I'm sitting behind a desk or
Right, yeah.
all these questions. And he's like, should we ask Spike if he wants to do this with us? And thank God Spike wanted to do it with us. And we're like, what? We asked these questions to Spike. He's like, well, you're already doing it. And he goes, it should look like the Big Brother videos. And we're like, oh yeah, we knew that.
I remember.
Should be free form. And, so that was,
I remember those
he gives
videos
really
circulating.
good, simple, smart notes. Thank God for Spike, because Jeff and I didn't know shit. All we knew was Spike when we started. But that apparently will take you a long way.
Apparently, yeah. Did you think at the beginning that Jackass would be sort of like a launching pad for maybe a more mainstream career? Like, could you have ever imagined that you'd still be doing it?
No, like, we didn't even think it was going to get on television, and it almost didn't. It got shut down during the pilot. And we're like, well,
Just because
we knew it.
It was
They're
too
not going to air
dangerous?
this.
Or
No,
like, how did it get shut down?
We were doing a prank at Laurel Hardware. It was a hardware store in West Hollywood, and I put on a prison orange outfit and dirtied up my face and was handcuffed and ran in, act like I was an escaped convict, because I had it stenciled on the back. Not escaped convict, but, LA County Jail. And was trying to get someone to help me saw my cuffs off. And the cops, 3 or 4 carloads of cops showed up. A couple of our crew got arrested. Sorry, Vina. The first policewoman who shows up on the scene, she jumps out but doesn't put her car in park, and it runs into a telephone pole right in front of me. I'm like, oh.
Holy
I've seen that.
Now
footage.
they're
It's
really
amazing.
mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they shut us down. And we're
MTV
like,
did.
Yeah.
They were like, this is too much. How did
But
you?
Spike was smart. When we heard we're shut down, Spike's like, okay, we got to go to our production office and get the tapes and not give them to MTV. So that's what we did.
But then how did it get back? How did you get it back going?
Just the lawyers dealt with it. They're like, okay, you can start filming again. So we thought, okay, it might be on the air, but no one's going to watch. We're constantly surprised. We didn't think anyone was going to go to the movie. So we're very grateful, but always surprised.
And you were insuring stunts one by one back.
On the first movie, we insured the bits per stunt. Our budget was $5 million for the first film, and there was one stunt Pontius wanted to do, was dress as a devil and go handle snakes with the Pentecostal preachers. But they're like, oh, you can do that, but that'll be $5 million to insure.
Right.
So we're like, well, probably not going to do that.
Although that would have been really funny.
He's great as the devil.
Yeah.
He's a naughty little devil.
I know you're most nervous about a stunt a few days before, and then you sort of get, is it like getting into sort of an eye of the storm feeling? Or would you describe doing it as like something you just have to get through? Because you've also, even in this interview, made it sound like something you really don't want to give up and you really love. You've done some of the most dangerous stuff that's ever been in Jackass.
I got to where I liked it.
How
I
long did
loved
it
it.
take to get there? And how did you get yourself there?
I think I showed up on the second movie different from how I was on the TV show in the first movie. I was still a little excitable, but on the second movie onwards, I don't know, something really either clicked or shut off.
Maybe a little of both.
Yeah.
And you really started to, you
I
couldn't
loved
stop
it.
filming.
I loved it.
You didn't want to stop.
No. They had to have an intervention with me on the second film to stop filming.
Because you're running into street signs and just,
On the weekends.
Yeah.
I was just like, let's go do something. I just running into stop signs.
what did the intervention?
Full speed.
This one does. What did the intervention look like?
They said, hey, we're going to do some edits on the movie tomorrow. Let's be at the office. And I walked in and it was Jeff, Spike. I think Pontius was there. And I'm like, all right, well, let's watch. And they're like, no, we got to talk. A lot of people cried in Jackass #2, the guys, but that's the only time I cried.
Did it change anything going forward? I mean,
I was able to negotiate a couple more weeks of filming, but they talked me out of doing the ski jump.
you seem like you're getting emotional talking about it now.
I'm the worst these days. It's tears over silly things all the time.
What's causing the emotion, would you say?
I don't know. I love it. And it's a big part of me. And when we're filming, I'm just obsessed.
You're talking about it like it's sort of in the past, but you're about to go in.
Well, I was referring to the situation at the end of #2. No, we're about to go into,
Yeah.
and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Well, for me, not for the guys. It's going to be terrible for them.
Do you guys have a safe word?
No. Wee Man's safe word is Jeff. Jeff. He always gets very angry at Jeff, the director.
Do you ever feel like you've taken it too far?
I don't know what that is, honestly. I don't know.
I feel like the stuff that is hard for me to watch is stuff where you just know it's going to end badly. Like
Well, it's all going to end badly.
I mean,
If it doesn't end bad, we have to shoot again.
when the point is it, like, for instance, the Lamborghini tooth pull. Like, the point is for that to go, I mean.
The funny part is Aaron is stuck in that chair, right? And Pontius has always got at least 2 knives and maybe a hatchet on him. And he's super he named his son Axe. He loves knives and hatchets. But he had this knife and he just kept talking shit to Aaron and like swinging the knife at Aaron's, neck, and to the point, there's been a couple of times where Tremaine comes over. It's like, Pontius, come on, give me the knife. Give me the knife.
Does he hand it over?
Yeah, because we let a lot go, right? There's a lot of swipes at Aaron's neck with the knife for a long time. And Jeff's like, finally, she's obsessed with taking swings at Aaron's neck.
Do you feel like you kind of have to have an addictive personality to be a cast member for Jackass?
No, I don't know if... I think it helps to have at least one, Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't speak if other people get addicted, but I sure do.
It was cool how the last movie sort of brought in new people and also women.
Yeah, Rachel Wolfson's awesome.
Yeah.
But you can't, she does, like we do things with her, and which the rest of the guys would scream over, but she's just like, she's just a little tougher than us.
Probably.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I appreciated the moment, I can't remember who said this, but where someone was like, do I have consent to remove the Scorpio from your
Pontius.
breast?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want it on my food. I can't take him off your boob unless you give me permission.
I'm giving you consent. Bringing us into the,
Yes. And she did promptly give
She
consent.
was ready for that. Yeah, she was ready to give consent, I think. What level of responsibility do you feel for the cast? I mean, there's been a lot of tragic things that have happened. There's been addiction, Ryan Dunn passing. There's so much, and we touched on this earlier, but so much camaraderie. I think the whole Jackass thing works because it's so clear that you all love each other. It wouldn't work if it seemed mean. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And so how do you balance that responsibility you have to people you really love, but also you're putting them into situations that are
Funny,
but also potentially life-altering?
Well, we all was I always the best role model? No. I don't know if any of us were. And as far as being responsible, we all have to be responsible for our own actions and be able to recognize and accept that.
And people can say no.
What, the stunts?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they say no, they're going to end up doing it.
Why? How?
Because if they're really scared to do it, that's like you're practically raising your hand to do it. Jeff is going to figure out a way. He's going to take you aside and be your buddy, or he's going to take you aside and give you a stern talking to, or he'll come at you like 5 or 6 different ways.
He'll throw the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah, and those blue eyes. I mean, how do you think I ended up in so many bad positions? Those blue eyes.
You've got a new Jackass movie coming out this summer.
Yep.
But you haven't started filming.
No.
Do you think this is a good idea?
Well, it never was a good idea. It was just fun. You know how you have ideas that are terrible but are fun? This would be that.
But okay, so I've read that the cast always wants to do a new movie. And you're the one that decides, now's the time. This is when we're going to do it. And you never really know when that's going to happen until it does. So could you sort of explain to me, what gets you to that point where you're like, we're doing it?
I don't know. I will say on the first couple of movies, it was first movie was Jeff and Spike's idea when I quit the TV show, and there was a lot of shit going back and forth between MTV and us.
No.
Because we were under contract, but
Well, you also had a presidential candidate coming after you.
Joseph
So there's
Lieberman
that.
came down on us. It was just, but they came to me and said, "Well, why don't we do a naughty version of the TV show? All right. And then we were in Russia filming for Wild Boys, and I was very excitable shooting. And Jeff's like, if you're going to go this hard for basic cable, why don't we do another movie? All right. But on 3 and 4, I just got a feeling. I can't explain it. It's just because I'm constantly writing ideas and just emailing them to myself. And at some point, I'm like, I need to shoot these. I have to get it out of my system.
So you just wake up one morning and you're like, today's
Completely obsessed
Yeah.
and a pain in everyone's ass. It's just we have to do this. And then the deals start. The deal-making process. That's the worst part of Jackass.
I find
Making
that
deals with
somewhat
your
hard
friends.
to believe, but
Trust
okay,
me.
Okay.
Trust me. I would rather stand in front of a bull any day than go through the deal-making process.
You're doing a Jackass podcast. You've got Fear Factor going.
Yes.
Tell me how that came about and what, you know.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't know if there's a good origin story, but it is fun. I'm having a lot of fun shooting Fear Factor because, you know, I scare a couple of the guys on Jackass, and it's a real prick gift I have. And I like sharing it with the Fear Factor contestants. Although I don't go at them, it's not.
You couldn't possibly, yeah.
I can't do that to regular people.
What's something you've done though on that show that you're really proud of, the amount of adrenaline you inflicted upon people?
I don't know. I just I really bonded with the cast, and because some of them are really terrified of things, and just trying to help them through it a little.
Yeah,
I didn't think I was going
yeah.
to be this big of a help on Fear Factor that I ended up being. I will be of no help to the Jackass guys.
What's going on with Bam? Is there anything you want to say about that situation?
I hear he's doing a lot better, and that makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know, because we've been through so much together, and I love him, and I'm happy he's doing well.
You said in your Rolling Stone cover story back in the day that you did not think Jackass would last that long.
Yeah.
What made you say that at the time? 25 years in now, and y'all are...
Yeah. This will be the last one.
Really? But you've said... But everyone's
I haven't
sort of
said
been
it
the last
after. I think we said it after the first one. I was like, this is it. And then smash cut to Russia. Jeff pulls me aside. And after that, we never said never anymore. But this is the natural place to end.
And you've talked about that.
So it's gonna be absolutely awful.
What will you do with all your ideas after?
I've been thinking about that.
Because they're not going to stop coming.
Yeah.
But you would never do a movie with a new cast or with a different.
I don't know. I got to figure out what to do with my ideas.
What do you do with yourself?
Same thing I do day to day, you know. Be a dad, play with our crazy dog, hang out with my wife, work a little.
This has been awesome.
Thanks so much.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I hope everything goes really well or not. What should I hope? What should we hope
it doesn't
for?
go well at all. It'd be a fucking train wreck. That's what you should hope for. But I think we designed it that way.
Well,
It'll be fun.
I hope to see you on the flip side.
Thank you.